Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community.
What do you think?
What are you, Booker T?
No, yeah, we are. I'm celebrating. There's a little celebration. This is today. Today, 5 years ago, is when we started this show, Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks.
Are we getting cake?
Yeah, well, I thought about it, but I'm trying to.
Alden, is there cake?
Trying to work. Yeah, there's some cake in there.
Yeah.
Right? You got to win a game of Simon, and then, then you can get some cake. Hey, no, I just wanted to. I'm celebrating. It's exciting. 5 years of Red Menace TV here on Proview Sports. Really excited. We started out before it was the small internet. Wes Henderson and Rudy Chavez were with me at that time, and we didn't know what we were doing. We did some radio and. Yeah, the face is still there, but yeah, it's rough. I know. Radio guys, what can I say? But
so you went through about 20 people before me. So literally, there was no one else you could ask to do the TV show with.
Well, no, you and I weren't really that tight then, and you were busy. You were working. You were still at 610 then. Yeah. Rudy and Wes and I had been doing stuff, on radio and internet for gosh, a decade already. And well, Rudy, I've known Rudy and been working with Rudy for almost 30 years. So, that was just natural. We were doing a radio show at the time, and that's when Steve Davis and contacted us, and we started talking, and they said, "Hey, would you like to do this on television?" And I was like, "You really want us on television?" You know what I mean? But they said, "Yeah, I mean, we'll take anybody." I was like, "All right." I mean, that was a glowing endorsement. We'll take anybody. Right?
We'll take anybody.
We got a clown. I mean, come on, we got a clown now.
Well, we'll take anybody.
We'll take anybody.
Yeah,
right?
that we know.
So then we went. We had a conversation. Yeah. We just decided to do it. Obviously, Wes is off in Houston now. Rudy has a successful law process, and the first guy that I thought of was you. I mean, I wanted you when those guys were gone. I didn't want to do the show by myself, and I thought at that point I was doing stuff with you guys on 610 in the morning and afternoon, and so I said, I really like Carlisle, so let's bring Carlisle in. So here you are. It took us about a year and a half to get you on the promo.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that took forever. Yeah. So I mean, hey. But here we are, 5 years later.
Rudy had been off the show longer than he was on it.
Exactly.
He was still in the open. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. But all the we had Tori, we had Steve, with J. Paul, but it was Alden. Alden was the man that got you in there, because Alden's a hard worker. What can I say? I mean,
dude, he's sitting in the control room playing Simon right now.
I know, but he's still a hard worker.
Literally, did you guys remember Simon when you push the button and it lights up?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well, they're playing for who's going to buy lunch. I found out that's the Proview studio. That's what goes on. Whoever loses has to buy lunch.
I thought maybe they were playing to see who was going to go pick up our cake.
Well, you might get one of those little dollar cakes with fried ones or whatever. Hey,
I'm not greedy.
Anyway, so thank you everybody for watching for 5 years and for spreading the word, and whether it's Twitter, Facebook, friends, that sort of stuff. It's been a blast. I want to thank everyone here at Proview. They've been great to us, and it's been a blast. Obviously, thanks to you, Micah, as well, and to the early guys, Rudy and Wes, for everything, and just it's been a blast. But I want to talk about something this is the first kind of depressing week in sports, which is kind of wild. We talked about it a little bit off the air. You mentioned I was in Dallas. I'm sorry.
The Lobos won?
Lobos won.
You were in Glendale to see the Cowboys beat the Cardinals.
Exactly.
How was that depressing?
Well, I mean, there's just and the on the field stuff, great. On the field stuff has been excellent for the most part. But it's like politics in sports. We got people on their knees all over the place now. I don't know what they're doing on their knees, but okay. I don't think they know what they're doing on their knees, but we had that. So that invaded all sports programming, whether it was television, radio, and you know this. Sure. I wasn't here Monday. I was still obviously I was in Arizona. But I'm positive, I'm 100% positive that your show exploded with that topic.
Oh, absolutely it did. Look, everybody has an opinion on it, whether you agree with what the players are doing, whether you disagree. And it's a very divisive topic. If you think one way and I think the other, I'm not changing your mind, you're not changing mine. But that doesn't mean you can't find common ground. I do think that there is legitimacy to what the players are protesting. The debate. What? The oppression of minorities in this country.
Please. That was one person. It's gone way past that.
Well, no, it hasn't. Because you're talking about the one person being Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I sent you the statement from the Seattle Seahawks, one of the 3 teams that stayed in the locker room.
Yes.
During the anthem. No, that's what this is about. Now, you're right in that the message got really cloudy over the weekend after the comments from the president and the NFL's reaction. It did seemingly become more of a, we'll show you.
Yeah.
Well, you're SOBs. Well, we'll show you. And I get what the players are doing, and I respect it, even if I wouldn't necessarily do it myself. However, after what happened this weekend, you're right, things are a little cloudy. You don't want to, if you're going to continue to do this, you don't want to lose the message, because you've already upset a big portion of your fan base, which any protest is going to do, and certainly an issue as decisive as this. But if you don't get the focus back on what you're doing, and this just becomes a one-upsmanship game between the president and the NFL, everybody loses.
So you know what a fidget spinner is, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what a POG is?
I don't believe in it. What a POG is.
There were those little cardboard things, and people flipped them, and it was like a little game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, POGs. Do you remember Rubik's Cube?
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be the same thing. It'll be gone. You want to know why it's going to be gone? Because it's all about money, and this is all what the whole thing was about. And it's all about these guys. They don't want the president telling them what to do. Owners all of a sudden locking arms. These are the same owners that they're going to go up against when it's contract time. And all of a sudden, that unity and solidarity is gone.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden,
you're right on that.
And all of a sudden, when a player starts sucking or not playing well, they're gone. The owner's going to say, see you later. The coach is going to say, see you later. His teammates are going to say, see you later. And all this unity stuff it's just, there's no place for it in sports, is my opinion. I don't see where it's done anything for anybody. Now DirecTV is talking about, or they're doing now, offering people that want to get rid of DirecTV or get rid of the NFL package, getting their money back. All of a sudden, that's going to reach into people's pockets.
Here's the thing, though.
Things are changing.
NFL ratings were up this weekend.
Actually, they were up they were down until the Cowboy game Monday night, which the Cowboys have been saving the NFL for about the past 2-3 years, to be honest with you. I mean, if you look at Sunday Night Football last year, ratings were down until towards the end when the Cowboys were going for that playoff run, and they kept moving them up to Sunday Night Football. And that happened quite a bit.
Well, it was also, you were getting more in the thick of the playoffs. Look, I'm not disputing the drawing power of the Cowboys at all. But it's just like baseball. A lot more people watch baseball late in the season in the playoffs than they do early on.
I don't even know if people still watch baseball.
Yeah, see? That's my point.
By the way, at the game Saturday, or on Monday, which was great, obviously the Cowboys came out. Now, you would say, well, they're in Arizona. Obviously, everyone's going to hate them there. If you've ever been to a Cowboy game in Arizona, it's about 50-50, to be honest with you.
It's probably like that most places the Cowboys
but they're especially,
maybe not quite 50-50, but always a lot of Cowboy fans. Sure.
And when the Cowboys went out and did the little stunt, and it was a stunt, everyone was booing. Cardinal fans were booing, possibly because it was a stunt, possibly because they're Cardinal fans. They don't like the Cowboys. Which I have to say, Arizona Cardinal fans have to be some of the nicest fans anywhere, just the most, they're kind.
Sure.
And the Cowboy fans were booing as well. They just don't want, people just don't want to hear this crap. They just don't want to see it. Then, second quarter, they pull out, they have their hero of the week or whatever. It's a veteran, staff sergeant. I wish I remember his name now. And they give him tickets, him and his family, and they pull him out. He was waving. Standing ovation. Sure. The entire stadium just stood, and that was the loudest cheers of the entire game was for that gentleman, and he was just, you could tell he was embarrassed. I'm just saying, people still like heroes.
Well, of course they do.
People still want those, and they don't want to see this garbage on television. They just don't.
Right, and I hear you, and we could have a whole separate conversation on, is it disrespectful when they kneel? It is not the player's intention to disrespect the country or the anthem when they kneel. They're trying to draw attention, as I told you, to the oppression of minorities in this country. Now, again, we can debate until the cows come home whether
and
this
you're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change
yours. Whether this is the right forum to do it, if this is the right time. But it's not, despite what Donald Trump said on Friday night, it's not trying to disrespect the country. It's not trying to disrespect the military. It's about trying to draw attention to their cause. So I'm not the least bit surprised that the military person got the loudest ovation of the night. I'm absolutely believe that.
All right.
Yeah, there were probably players on both sidelines clapping.
It wasn't their intention, but the road to hell is paved with lots of intentions.
And credit cards.
Of hell, and credit cards, which they're starting to lose. Anyway, we'll switch from that to then yesterday flying back from Arizona, and all of a sudden the FBI sting.
Oh, college basketball, yeah.
College basketball. So, first of all, who didn't know that there's shady business involving college basketball or college athletics? Let me just put it, college athletics. All right? I've maintained this for decades. It's a business. Business means you're out to make money. Right? The idea that these are amateur athletes.
But these aren't schools out making money. These are assistant coaches.
Well, the assistant coaches were using that money, had money funneled. They're paying the guys from the shoe companies to bring certain kids to certain schools.
The shoe companies are giving the coaches the money to bring the kids in.
And it's all, I mean, it's all just insane. I mean, it's dirty. It's been dirty for decades. I'm kind of shocked. I mean, obviously the big deal now is the FBI's involved.
Right. This isn't an NCAA investigation.
This is NCAA who they're just going to whitewash or they're just going to go
slap on the wrist.
It's okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Or that's a big school. We're not going to pay attention. It's the FBI. They don't care. They've got a bone in their mouth and they're going to go ahead and chew that sucker down. And so I look for more of this to probably as this comes out, and there will be more schools and possibly more shoe companies involved.
And the FBI in their press conference earlier this week kind of alluded to that. All right, yeah, we've arrested 10 people, including 4 assistant coaches. There are 2 other schools that are linked to this. But there's more. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're going to see a lot more.
Right. I mean, this is Adidas was the 2 guys were the shoe company involved now. Well, Nike, don't think Nike just sat on the sidelines this whole time. Okay. Or Converse or back in the day Pony or whoever else was involved. Well, I mean, they were involved for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, Under Armour might have a little taste of this.
Sure.
It's business. And don't think that it's just college basketball either. I have a feeling we get into the football side of this, it's going to be just as corrupt and just as dirty because it's money. People are making, we're talking millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Wherever that is, there's going to be corruption of some sort.
And everybody wants their cut.
And everyone wants a little taste.
I agree.
So that was forget about it. So that was on the flight home. All right. And then I come home and I find out that there was yet another Larry Barker investigative story about Paul Krebs and now Final Four tickets for family members, for the wife, which the wife I think that was I don't know. Was that okay? Was that not okay? That seemed kind of
debatable.
Yeah,
it was in his contract she could travel, but I think it was
Lobo things, right?
That was my impression, but I don't know. That one's kind of debatable. But there was tickets for his brother. There were tickets for friends. There was tickets for a guy from Learfield.
Yeah. And I still didn't get no ticket. And I still didn't get no Scotland trip. I didn't even get one to Arroyo del Oso.
I would just like a credit card.
A P card?
Or he was actually using a credit card.
Oh, a credit card?
A school credit card. I'd be happy with a credit card.
I'd be happy if they just throw me a Lobo dog every now and again.
Yeah, really. And in all seriousness.
Yeah. This is bad. This one's bad.
This one, in some ways, might have been the worst.
Yeah.
Because up until now, I think you could, if you were Paul Krebs, justify, hey, I thought I was doing the right thing with the Scotland trip and all that. I thought I was. You can't justify this one.
Yeah, and you know me, I've been very much in Paul Krebs' corner the entire time. I don't think I've hidden that fact. I think I've been pretty, and I do understand. You have to take care of boosters. You have to. It's part of the business of college athletics.
But you have to do it the right way. But again, he can make that argument.
Yeah,
I thought I was
doing it the right way, or okay, I cut a corner, but this is the reason. Yeah. The ends justifies the means. I know, well, some people don't think that's true until they're the ones that are doing it. But this one just seems, I mean, this one's out of hand.
I don't know how you explain this one.
I can't.
No, I didn't mean you. I mean, if you're like Paul Krebs.
And I mean, even as someone that's been a staunch defender of the whole situation, this one's a little rough.
This one's rough. Like I said, I don't know how you explain, I thought I was doing right by this one.
You can't.
Because even in the report, it acknowledged, Larry Barker said once they found out we were doing this investigation, Krebs started paying some of the money back. His brother sent a check, somebody else sent a check. But, this is stuff that was going back, 3 to 4 years?
Right, exactly. I mean, so you sent the check, you paid it back. Great, that's good. But the only reason you sent the check and paid it back is because it got uncovered. If it hadn't gotten uncovered, you would have never sent the check.
If you rob a convenience store
and
a month later, when the girl didn't shoot you, and a month later you return the money, it doesn't excuse the fact you robbed a convenience store.
So, I mean, like I said, the other ones, I had no problem. I could see the reason. I just don't see the reason. So now you see why I had a depressing week in sports.
Lobos won.
I know.
Football.
That was
great.
And we're going to come back
It's a
and
heck of
talk
a game
about
in Tulsa.
that. But first, we're going to have Micah on to talk about MMA. I wonder if he's got some. Is there anything shaky going on there other than John Jones getting suspended?
Other than failed drug tests?
Failed drug tests. Do we have anything else going on?
Maybe? Oh, there's a lot going on, but as far as shady stuff,
like shady stuff, like maybe Bellator has collapsed or.
No, not at all. Bellator is actually doing very well.
They're your favorite.
Well, they're not my favorite, but they're doing very well.
That's all you ever talk about.
I very rarely talk about Bellator.
We'll be back right after this. All right, Mike.
And there's a long pass, and that's going to be caught and touchdown.
Each side of him on 1st and 10. And Nolan's going to go deep on 1st down, and that's caught, and look out. It's a foot race down the sideline, and I don't think anybody's going to catch him. It's going to go 80 yards for a score.
Mikey Ovidres, here's the squib kick forward, and now is it a reverse or a fake reverse? It's a fake reverse. Look out, a lot of speed down the sideline, and gone. Gonna take it all the way, 80 yards. It's Blaine Grant. Don't blink, another touchdown.
Team is gone. Teams are going for 6.
Trujillo, he's got plenty of time again. He's going to roll. He's under duress, fires to the end zone. Touchdown. What a grab. I don't know, 15-yard penalty it is, 1st down and 10, and here is the handoff to Isaac Torres, and look at him go. Isaac Torres, shot out of a cannon, and he's in. Touchdown.
That maybe that might be one of the first passes he's had a chance to catch this year. You know, if you're catching a quick slant, and that's complete. You look a lot of extra yards out in front. Shot out of a cannon, and Fernandez is going to score again. So the end of that game set.
Really in control right now. Here's Bird on the quarterback keep. Watch out. A cut to the near side. Jordan Bird is going to go all the way. Touchdown. You can't stop him today.
The Vikings at the 40. Adami, the 7-step drop, throws out to the right. Intercepted. Going down the left sideline with some room. To the middle of the field. Might be a pick 6. One man to beat. Cuts it back on the inside. 20, 15, 10. One more cutback. A touchdown. What a fantastic return for an interception.
Cuts to the outside and look out. Jordan Bird off to the races. You're not going to catch him. Touchdown. What a move.
Look in, we'll send Erickson in motion. And the handoff is just, no, it's a double option. And there is Erickson. He's got a lot of speed.
Look out, watch out. Erickson, shot out of a cannon, and he's going to go. Andrew Erickson, 99 yards.
Looking for some exhilarating fun? It's at All Out Zone. All Out Zone showcases Nerf dart tag games from team elimination battles to human versus zombies, pitting two teams against each other in fun, organized chaos with trained referees, music, and a full arsenal of Nerf blasters. You need team parties, birthday parties. We can customize the party to fit your needs. Visit us at the Coronado Mall. Give us a call, 505-444-6964. All Out Zone.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts, like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service.
And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time.
Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Welcome to Cage Minds, the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This weekend, there was a big weekend of combat sports action, just not MMA, but it did get started with MMA. On Friday night, you had two events. You had the UFC in Japan, where quite possibly, as expected, we saw one of the most lopsided main events in UFC history. Ovin St. Preux just tore through Yushin Okami. Yushin Okami, on his first takedown, got stuffed and pulled guard into the half guard, and then put his arm over the head of Ovin St. Preux, got his glove trapped inside of the clavicle of Ovin St. Preux, and St. Preux gets to side control, hits his move. His move, the Von Flue choke. There's been 5 of them in UFC history, and 3 of them have been completed by Ovin St. Preux. So as expected, complete dominance in the main event on like a week's notice for Yushin Okami. The co-main event, a little more surprising, but still dominance. Claudia Gadelha, not able to get off her back, took a beating against Jessica Andrade. Early on, Gadelha looked good, punching, moving, and even with a knee busting Andrade open across her forehead. As the round would wean to the end, Andrade would get Gadelha on her back, start landing massive ground and pound, and that would again happen in the second and third rounds. A surprising, huge victory for Jessica Andrade as she tries to work towards another title fight, another opportunity to dethrone Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who, as we know, is going to compete at UFC 217 and look to set a record for most title defenses for a women UFC champion when she takes on Rose Namajunas. Now, also Saturday night in Japan, we had some big knockouts. You had Takanori Gomi. Unfortunately, the legend has taken too much beating, too much violence, and I implore him to retire. You've done enough to serve us. You've done enough to entertain all of us. Going down, not having the chin he once had, it's kind of sad to see the path that he is following. You also saw a tremendous knockout in an octagon debut. Turkish light heavyweight Gökhan Saki, former kickboxing world champion, made his long-awaited MMA return, 1-0-1 heading into, yes, a UFC debut. But he showed quickly why he's been given this opportunity to compete at this level. Devastating hooks, huge power. Yes, the cardio was in question, but this was his first MMA fight. And he was using a totally different muscle system, because there's different muscles that you use when you grapple to when you strike, than he ever had in a full-blown competitive nature before. Taking on a brawler, taking on a guy that was a grappler without wrestling in Henrique da Silva, it was a huge knockout and a big victory for Saki, who is a superstar there in Japan, thanks to his kickboxing pedigree. So it was a huge night of fights, a great night of stoppages, UFC Fight Night in Japan, CageMinds.com to get the full results. Now, also Saturday night, you had Legacy Fighting Alliance in Lake Charles, Louisiana, 2 title fights there, not to mention Ryan Spann, who is a guest on my recent podcast, with a huge rear naked choke win in the first round of LaMarcus Tucker getting back in the win column after a little stumble on Dana White's Contender Series. Now, in the co-main event of LFA 23, Andrea Lee, KGB, the top women's 125 prospect, I honestly believe, in the world, showed her dominance in retaining her title over Jamie Thornton. Money left hooks and a vicious back kick to the clavicle that knocked down Thornton, a takedown in the second round that led to a Kimura submission finish. The Kimura is where you take the arm and you start kind of bending it back there and tearing the shoulder apart. A huge win for Andrea Lee, who, as Bellator and the UFC are currently in the process of crowning their 125-pound champions, you can expect her to be added to one of those rosters and to make a major impact here very soon. Now, the LFA 23 main event was a welterweight title fight. Champion Derek Krantz, who had already previously held the Legacy Fighting Championship welterweight title, came in with much more experience, but as the betting underdog against the Lab's young grappler James Nakashima. Nakashima proves his mettle, but in a controversial fashion, with a deep eye poke to Krantz early on in the first round and 2 massive low blows in the second round. It was a fight that had high emotions, and that spilled over to even the judges' announcement, but definitively the judges scored in favor of Nakashima, who is the new welterweight champion, and with probably one more victory, because I believe he only has decisions and the UFC likes stoppages. They'd like to see a stoppage. James Nakashima will eventually be in the octagon, the caliber of fighters such as Kamaru Usman, another young guy that's going to make waves here really soon. So that was Friday night. Then you move on to Saturday, where you had Bellator. Bellator was at home, the SAP Center in San Jose, California, a main card that started out with Goichi Yamauchi submitting Adam Piccolotti, another lightweight contender. Let's move up Yamauchi. He did not take any damage in this fight, and I'd like to see him get a bigger matchup here very quickly, keep him active. Now, you also had the debut of Roy Big Country Nelson, the UFC free agent crossover to Bellator, and kind of in a lackluster performance, relying on his grappling, even though built up as a knockout artist, Roy Nelson gets the win over a much more game than expected Javier Ayala. Now, you also had the co-main event, expected to be fireworks, and it lived up to the billing. A striking affair between Lorenz Larkin and Paul Daly. Paul Daly's nickname is Sentex. That's British Explosives. That's what he has in his left hand. When he found the opening and connected with that left hand to the right side of Larkin's temple, the fight was over at that moment. But Larkin was still standing, knocked out on his feet, and 3 more punches to put him down. Hopefully he's okay. A huge win for Paul Daly, who again proves that he's quite possibly the 3rd best welterweight in Bellator, having lost to Rory McDonald and Douglas Lima. Can't wait for that fight. And actually, at Bellator 183, they had a stare down. And this is something that you have to go check out if you have not seen, where McDonald basically says, I will decimate you, came out in all black dress pants and a turtleneck. He looks like an artsy Canadian version of American Psycho, Rory McDonald. Kind of interesting TV for Bellator MMA. He's looking to dethrone Douglas Lima. This is going to take place in January at the Forum in LA. Douglas Lima, one of the heaviest hitters in the whole world at 170 pounds, former MFC and now the current two-time Bellator welterweight champion. That is one of the best fights that Bellator has ever made. They had a stare down and a good little trash-talking session. You guys should go check that out. You also had a main event at Bellator 183 that was the Benson Henderson fight. Henderson fights to close decisions. In his UFC tenure, that was his moniker, and the judges saw his pressure, his attempt for takedowns in his favor. The first time I watched Bellator 183, scored the main event against Patricky Pitbull Frady in Henderson's favor. The judges did not. I rewatched the fight, razor close, but a big win for Pitbull. You had Bellator 183. You also had Bellator Kickboxing 7. I can tell you that America's top kickboxing prospects and products stood out and shined very greatly. Via split decision, Kevin Ross is the first Bellator kickboxing featherweight champion. You also have Joe Schilling getting an impressive stoppage, and Raymond Daniels, who becomes the new Bellator welterweight champion. But you can't see that yet. Next week is Bellator 184, and preceding that, you'll see Bellator Kickboxing 7. So you got to give Bellator credit in essence for promoting kickboxing, for wanting to move forward with that tremendous sport that is not caught on here in America. And they keep trying to do what they could. But in the words of Joe Schilling, who is one of the top American kickboxers in the world, you want to promote it, you want to put it over, show it live. People didn't even know the fight was happening. Bellator is doing a good thing in promoting kickboxing, but they're doing it in a less than stellar way. They need to step their game up in promoting the kickboxing side of what they're doing, which leads me to talk about what's going on this weekend. This weekend, 4 national fights that you can check out. Access TV, Lion Fights 38, that is the Art of 8 Limbs Muay Thai action. You also have between UFC Fight Pass and ESPN3 to be shown on tape delay Sunday night. Glory 45 from Amsterdam, a light heavyweight 4-man tournament. Bedestov and Gergis in a heavyweight co-main event. The main event has Roman Van Roosmaling against Sergey Adamchuk, 2 Dutch strikers that are going to go hard at the kickboxing, punches finishing off their combinations by kicks. They're heavy hitters battling for the 145-pound title. I implore you to check out some striking. If you're a boxing fan, check out some kickboxing and Muay Thai this weekend. If you're a local fan, join me up at Buffalo Thunder. Holmes Boxing presents Countries Collide. You do have a WBC title fight, Juan Garcia Mendez versus the undefeated Juan Jose Velasco, the main event to join us up there. It's kicking off a big month of fights actually for us here in New Mexico. The following weekend, Saturday, October 7th, UFC 216, Ray Borg, Demetrius Johnson on the card. The co-main event, let's go Ray, bring that flyweight title back to New Mexico. You also have Landon Venata and Tom Duquesnoy on the card. The following weekend, on Friday, October 13th, Fidel Maldonado defending his world title. On the 14th, you have Austin Trout on Showtime looking to become a 2-time world champion, 2 different bouts. You have also on the 14th up at Buffalo Thunder, Jackson's MMA series, the 21st School of Hard Knocks Boxing in Hobbs. And on the 28th, King of the Cage has announced MMA back in Albuquerque at the Embassy Suites. A lot of action going on here in the month of October, and more Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Duke City Sports Bar, proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Catch all the sports action from high school, college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Start your night off right with any selection from our delicious menu prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Duke City Sports Bar, Albuquerque's newest sports bar. Located on Eubank and Montgomery, dial 505.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Back to Red Menace TV. I'm feeling pretty good now. I got all
Feeling
that.
better?
Yeah, I had to get all that out. It was like poison inside of me. So I had to get it all out. That's all. I feel better now.
Oh, good.
You know, there's a lot of good stuff going on too. I mean, Manzano, before I left, kicked the snot out of Rio Rancho. That was a heck of a game here on Proview Sports. That Saturday, that was a great game. So that was amazing. Lots of good stuff going on around here. And then, like you mentioned, Saturday. Now, here's the thing. So they have Wi-Fi on the plane, but only whatever stations they want to show you.
Oh.
So I couldn't get ESPN3. I could get ESPN1 and ESPN2. So I didn't get to see the game. So here I am on my phone.
Here you are.
Like this, looking like this on a plane, right? Trying to wait. You know how you wait for the scroll to come, and then all of a sudden there's a break. And it's like the scroll's not there no more. And you're like, hey, that's right when maybe they would have shown the score. So then I found out they weren't even showing the score of Tulsa, which was weird. So I only got to see, like, we had a layover in Las Vegas, so I got to see about 3 minutes of the game.
Hold on. So an hour flight to Phoenix.
I know, right?
You had to fly through Vegas?
Las Vegas, and then a 45-minute flight from Vegas to
Holy
Phoenix.
crap.
I did it both ways, coming and going, because they didn't want to help hook us up. They could have sent us straight from Phoenix to Albuquerque on the way back. No.
Maybe time to get a new travel agent.
Yeah, no lie, huh? Well, yeah, it was a great flight. It was free. It was points, so what the heck. But we had a good time. It was a great time. Phoenix is a great, Glendale, that stadium there is an excellent stadium.
Oh, yeah, it's
like
great.
I said, the Cardinal fans are very, they're cool. And I'm a Cowboy fan, you know that. And who are the biggest jerks in the whole thing? Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, seriously? You know, they're holding up in the back of their car and stuff. I'm like, dude, nobody's talking smack. Just be cool, right? It's like, I'm a Cowboy fan. You were lucky to get away with that victory. So just, you know, be happy. Especially, hey, I told one guy, I was like, I'm a Cowboy fan. Were you talking smack last week when the Broncos annihilated the Cowboys? No, you weren't. So,
well, you don't talk smack when you lose. You talk smack when you win.
Well, but don't even talk smack because your team doesn't look that good right now. At least that's the way I look at it.
They're 2-1.
They're 2-1,
They're
but
tied for first in the division.
They're not looking good. I don't think they're looking good.
They're looking fine.
They're not looking fine. But a team that is looking fine, that bounces back. And let me ask you this, that's the Lobos.
Yes.
Big victory, 53-yard field goal to cap it off by Jason Sanders.
Yeah.
Amazing. So some guy comes to me and via Twitter, because I was using the Twitter to kind of keep score if I could.
Gotcha.
And he's like, oh, there was a point, Lobos, it would have been like a 52, 53-yarder into a stiff wind. And Bob Davie elected not to kick the field goal. And the guy's like, well, if we got this great kicker, why don't you use him? And I'm like, well, because it's into a stiff wind, and Bob Davie didn't feel like that was the point. So then, of course, this is Twitter, so of course you got to talk smack, right? Because everyone thinks they know something. Later on, after Jason Segel,
hold on. So the Cowboys aren't looking good, so fans shouldn't talk smack.
I'm just saying.
But
I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Go ahead and talk smack, Mr. Lobo.
I'm not talking smack. So let me finish.
You said it.
So the guy comes back to me after Sanders hits the field goal, and he says, "See, now you see why he should have kicked the field goal back then." And I go, "This was a last-second field goal. Yes, it was into a win, but if he misses it, what's the worst thing that happens? You go into overtime." There was no pressure on him.
Right.
There was pressure on the kicker, but no pressure on making the call.
Right.
And at the time.
Earlier, if he misses the field goal, you're giving Tulsa a really good field position.
And at that point, your defense had been pretty good.
Right.
And how good was the defense? You were there, Michael.
Defense was very good. And, you know, you kind of had an inkling of that after the Boise State game. But then Friday night, you watched Virginia annihilate Boise State. And you're like, So how much of that Lobo-Boise game was the Lobo defense? How much of that was maybe Boise State's offense just isn't that good?
In fact, Rick Wright mentioned something about that.
Did he? I don't know. He may have. But you got your answer on Saturday.
Right.
Because, you know, the Lobos, now, they also did a good job offensively of controlling time and possession, which helped keep the ball out of the Tulsa offense's hand. But, you know, Tulsa put up 51 points the week before. They scored 13 off the Lobos. And outside of 3 plays.
in rushing, I think?
I believe they were, yeah. Outside of 3 plays, I mean, the Lobos really held them in check.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we've talked about this since the season started, whether it's Abilene Christian, even New Mexico State, they ended up getting 100 yards at the end.
Right.
But really, the Lobos had been really kind of shutting down a lot of offensive running games.
Yeah, they had.
And I thought it was a strong testament that they, and let's face it, we talked about this last week. Did you see this kind of a scoring game?
No.
I mean,
I thought it was going to be a shootout.
Right, like 52 to something or whatever, you know what I mean? Or something crazy.
Sure.
Who would have thought 16-13 would have been a final? I wouldn't. Not in my wildest. I'm sitting there, you know, like I said, because we were like, all right, just take off the airplane mode just for a second, just to get a score. And it's like, they're not updating the score anymore. It's like, oh, all right. So it's like, because it kept saying 13-13, 13-13, 13. I'm like, seriously? It's like, where's the big scoring? It wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
Lobo fans, of course, after the Aggie loss, wants to write the Lobos off, because that's become the typical thing. Everyone's looking for the time when they can write the Lobos off. Just happened to be the Aggie game this year and last year. What do you think now?
Look, I think the Lobos can be competitive in every game. I don't think there's, other than the San Diego State game, I don't think there's a game on the schedule they absolutely couldn't win.
Right.
And again, I know this is old hat and this is kind of coach speak. We said the same thing last year. Davey said it. There's also not a game on the schedule that they can't lose. So yeah, you have to play well. But you know, you're getting into the meat of conference play now. You do still have the one non-conference game coming up a little bit later on with Texas A&M. But now's the time to start gelling. I thought the Lobo offense looked good in the Boise game.
Sure.
Even though they had problems punching into the end zone. I thought they moved the ball really well on Saturday. Now, there were some issues holding on to the football. But
Which has been there all year.
Yeah, you can tell, though, things are starting to come around. And as long as you keep seeing improvement, you know, you got Air Force at home this weekend. then the bye week and at Fresno, now's the time to get rolling, and it looks like that's what the Lobos are doing. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
All right, the next $1 million question, because this wouldn't be Albuquerque unless we find something to complain about or try to start some controversy. Quarterback controversy, Michael Carlisle? Got 3 of them now. We go through this every year, it seems like, at UNM.
I would go with the hot hand.
Okay, and who's the hot hand?
Colton Gerhardt.
Really?
He's the leading rusher on the team.
That's true. Now I'm going to tell you, like I said.
But again, I don't find fault with Lamar coming back this weekend.
I'll tell you the same thing I say every year that this happens, and every time that we have this conversation. There is no film on Colton Gerhardt right now.
Well, there is now.
There's
a game and a half.
So I don't think he's going to have the same sort of game that he would this time around. It's just the way it happens.
Well, Air Force is probably going to be a little bit better defense than Tulsa, but I would dispute that. You had, 3 quarters of tape from Boise on Gerhardt.
Yeah, a little bit.
So Tulsa had. So, I mean,
I'm saying this. This is what I'm going to say. I think you go back to Lamar. You stay with Lamar. That's
I don't have a problem with that. I'm a big believer if things are going well, don't mess it up. But you know what? To be fair, I talked about how the offense I thought looked good in the Boise game. I thought it looked good with Lamar until he got hurt.
Yeah,
they were moving. They had the fumble, but as far as moving the ball, they were doing that. So I don't have a problem.
He's your senior. He's your star. He's been there before. He's bailed your fat out of the fire a couple of years now. That's the guy you go with. That's my opinion. I'll tell you what, why don't we take a quick break? We're going to go to Rusty. Is that right, Alden? You want to throw to Rusty? We'll throw
what kind of anniversary show is this? We got to have Rusty?
Well, he's part of the show, too. Even though he's his own spin-off now. We got our own spin-off, dude. We're like, we're like All in the Family, and then the Jeffersons came out of it. Right?
We are nothing like All in the Family and the Jeffersons coming out of it.
We'll be back right after this.
Hey guys, I am such a genius. I got every game correct this weekend. I know, you're not going to believe how perfect I was. Wait, what, I didn't? Hey, I'm Rusty the Sports Clown with the Rusty the Sports Clown Show. Let's go to the sports break to find out everything I got wrong. It was crazy. Oh, where to start? Let's see. Let's start with the little guys again. The Yaffle team that we've been following that are going to go to the playoffs and all that, they lost. I know. The Yaffle freshman storm. How? Why? I don't get it. One of the parents said they just came out really flat and never really got into it. Or was the other team just better? Yeah, we don't know. Playoffs starting a week and a half, guys, so come on, get it together, figure it out, because, we got to have you winning it all. All right, come on, Stormy. Now, we move up a notch to high school football. I picked Valley, my alma mater, to win over El Dorado. El Dorado won 49-14. I picked Carlsbad over winless Mayfield. Yeah, they can't win a game. Mayfield won 38-21. Atrisco Heritage over Volcano Vista. Oh, wait, I got that right because I took Volcano Vista. It was Diana Butterscotch that got that one wrong because she's, that Atrisco person and all that stuff. Volcano Vista won. I also got that Cleveland game correct over Artesia. But boy, was that one close. Man, Cleveland 56, Artesia 49. Came down to an incomplete pass in the end zone at the end of the game for Artesia for Cleveland to win. And of course, I got the #1 Rio Rancho Rams beating #3 Manzano, right? No, I missed that one badly. Holy cow, with Manzano just destroying Rio Rancho, 55-7. No, I didn't stutter. 55-7. So, who are the best teams in the state for high school? Yeah, I don't know. It might just be 2 teams that are located somewhere other than Rio Rancho or Las Cruces. Go figure. Who would have thought something like that could ever happen? It just might be La Cueva and Manzano, who play each other next week. I know this is going to be a killer next week. Who would have thought that game would be more important than Rio Rancho versus Cleveland on the same night? Wow, not me. Finally, we picked Rio Grande, but they fell again. They play winless Del Norte, though, this week, so I'm hoping this will be the game that, they finally get that losing streak over with. Let's move up to the NCAAs. That's college ball for those of you that aren't aware. Okay, let's see. I actually did pretty good in these games. Let's see. Almost all the favorites won, but I did pick Oklahoma State over TCU. Yeah, what was I thinking? TCU in a stunner in Oklahoma. The score was 44-31. All right, I picked New Mexico State over UTEP. Yep, got that one right. Man, the Aggies crushed the Miners, 41-14. That was a great game. How about the best game of the weekend? Best by far, the UNM Lobos. Yay! I'm upside down. Yay! Much better. Okay. Here's what happened. They were 10.5-point underdogs to the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Let's see. Tulsa averages 363 yards rushing per game. That's a lot. Tulsa averages 47 points per game. Yeah, that's a lot too. Well, guess what? The Lobos said, Psh, you don't know New Mexico football, do you? The Lobos down to their third-string quarterback. Yep, that's right. Third-string quarterback. First one out, concussion. Second one out, concussion. Both of them, man, not playing. So we're down to our third-string guy, right? We got no shot. Oh, not going to happen. You don't know New Mexico football. We have players that can just jump in and step right in and do cool stuff. All right, the Lobos dominated the game offensively in every way except the scoreboard. Here's what happened. The Lobos, they got inside the 5 of Tulsa twice and fumbled. I know, not cool. Otherwise, this game could have been really out of hand in the Lobos' favor. The Lobos held the ball for over 42 minutes. They held Tulsa to 155 yards rushing, but still had to kick a field goal on the last play of the game to win, 16-13. Should have been a Lobo blowout. Should have been. Those turnovers will kill you every time. But a win is a win. We're going to take it regardless. Yay, Lobos! All right, next up for the Lobos, we are going to play the Air Force Falcons. Yeah, they played number 22 San Diego State really tough in a 28-24 loss. Okay, that game is this week at Dream Style Stadium. You got to show up. It's our homecoming, so be there. We got to pack the place. Okay, everybody, all you Red Menace freaks out there, okay, here's what we're going to do. If you want to see the rest of my show, which is totally awesome, we're doing this Santa Fe Renaissance Fair that you got to see, and the only way you can see it, you got to check it out either live on Thursday night at 7 o'clock on Proview Networks, or follow us on Facebook. We're going to have all the episodes posted there. Got to see it. So follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me to the Lobos game against Air Force, because that's important. If there's a game, an event, a meet, a match, anything where we're gonna beat Air Force, just go. Bye, guys.
Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies.
You gonna buy lunch after you blow this?
I'm not gonna blow this.
You're not gonna blow this? What are you, the Simon shit? What are you playing Simon for? We're doing the show.
This rusty stuff, dude, it kills me. Just let me know when we're done.
We're done. We're here. We're good to go. Alden says you're buying lunch. You got the least points of everybody. There it is. Lunchtime. Where's lunch, Michael Carlisle?
So Rusty's done?
Yeah, Rusty's done. He's over.
I bet.
We put Rusty away for the day.
Thank goodness.
For the week, I guess we could say. Of course, you can catch Rusty here on Proview Sports as well. I think it's coming to get you, dude.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Hey, did you guys talk much about the Lobo Howl and what Paul Weir's doing with the students?
Not really.
No, not really. For those of you that missed it.
No, dude.
Is that your thought process on this whole thing?
No, but it must be Simon's.
It must be. That's what Simon thinks. Anyway, Lobo Howl's not going to be at the pit this year. It's not going to be.
Well, it's not going to be a Lobo Howl.
It's not going to be a Lobo Howl. It's going to be actually with the students coming out. They're hoping to bring students out at Johnson Gym, as well as staff and teachers there, professors there at UNM. Good move, bad move, thoughts? You don't care? You've been to Lobo Howls. I know you have.
Yeah. Oh, no, I have.
The last few Lobo Howls have been snoozers.
Have they been snoozers?
Yeah, I think so. Just looking at everything that goes down, I think they've been boring compared. I mean, they were just.
As opposed, what have they been lacking? What should they do that they haven't?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, when they first came out, I think Dave Bliss was the one that brought it. It was a Midnight Madness deal. It was late at night. They would actually run a scrimmage, the dunk contest, and all that. Now it's become so long.
Dude, if you can't get people to show up at 6 o'clock, how are you going to get people to show up at midnight?
I hear you. I hear you. I just like this idea. I think it's a great idea.
That's fine. I don't have a problem. I don't know that it's a great idea. I don't have a problem with it. I'm all about getting the students involved. So if, having this at Johnson Gym gets the students excited about Lobo basketball and gets more students to come out, I think that's a good thing.
That'd be great. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're actually out of time, so you can go back to Simon if you want. And we'll be back next week with more Red Menace TV, hopefully another Lobo victory, and no more knee taking. We'll be back. God bless you.
Dang it.